again. My name's Ian, and this is my precious wife Jane, and this is the Friends for Life course. Now, this is the third session we're doing, but if you haven't done the previous two sessions, highly recommend that you go back and do those sessions before doing this one. But in this particular session, we're going to be talking about investing in your marriage. We understand investment, don't we? We understand that principle when it comes to money. And so, Jane, how do we do that with money? What are the principles that we use to invest our money?
Yeah. Well, when we're thinking of investing our money, we really spend time. We spend time researching the options of where to put that money. We plan it, and then when we do invest, we're actually investing it with the desire to see a return on our money. So we want something small that we've invested to grow into something big.
That's right, yes. And so we want to be effective in our investing, don't we?
Yep.
And so it goes with marriage. We want to be effective in how we invest into each other's lives.
Yep.
Now, when I was first going out, or even before we were first going out, I wanted to invest into Jane in a way that, because I'd fallen in love with her, and I wanted her to love me back, I guess. And so when first was inviting her to go out, I thought, okay, maybe I'll send her some roses. And so I rang the florist, and she was at home, and this big bunch of a dozen red roses turned up, didn't they? And what did you think about that? You were so thrilled, weren't you?
No, I wasn't. No, I sort of looked at them and I thought, I don't really know this man very well. Why is he sending me red roses? This is something that you do with someone you have a relationship with. And my mother, she was very impressed. She said, oh, anyone who would send you these beautiful flowers, this is a man worth looking into. But personally, myself, I wasn't really very impressed with those roses. So.
Yeah, so often we think we know how to invest and the way to invest in our spouse, but it isn't necessarily the case. But a little bit later on, Jane invited me around for dinner one night, and after dinner, I did what my mother trained me to do. Mothers give us good training. Yeah. And I got up and I did the dishes. And to me, it wasn't anything special. You know, that's something I always did. But to Jane, how did that make you feel?
I was highly impressed. I thought, wow, this is a man who does the dishes. This is amazing.
Yeah.
So you would think, wouldn't roses be better than doing the dishes? And yes, for some person, the roses might be the answer, but for another person, the dishes are the answer. So all of us experience love in different ways, and some of us want love in one way, and some of us want love in other ways. And we tend to, as a couple, if we like, say, receiving a lot of gifts, we tend to give gifts to our spouse and think, oh, that's going to make them feel loved. But it doesn't always work that way. Now, basically, Gary Chapman wrote a book called The 5 Love Languages. And in that book, he explained that we all receive and give love in different ways. And we need to know what that way is to be effective in investing. And so those 5 love languages come under these categories. And the first one is physical touch. And I think most of us would understand that. Some of us really like being touched and cuddled and stroked. And that's Ian. He loves
That's men, I think, mostly. We love to be touched.
Yeah. But others of us, like me, I like quality time. I like spending time with Ian. I like doing things with him and just sitting down and talking. I really enjoy that. And then there's acts of service. And obviously you can tell from the dishes story, that's obviously one of my top love languages as well. I really feel loved when Ian goes about helping me, maybe cleaning up after dinner, maybe cooking a meal, maybe putting on the dishwasher, maybe helping me put out the washing. And he's very good at doing those type of things. And so because he knows that one of my top love languages is what's called acts of service. But there's 2 other love languages too, and one of those is words of affirmation. And that's saying kind words, saying things that, you really appreciate what your husband or your wife is doing. And just, it's not just about the words you say, it's the way you say it. Yeah.
That's right.
And so that's, I think Ian really appreciates it when I really say to him, thank you for doing that, and I really like the way you did that.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, of course, is gifts. And
of
gifts,
course, I
yeah.
tried to give those red
Yeah.
roses thinking that would be her love language. Well, I didn't even know about love languages then, really.
Yeah.
But the gifts wasn't the thing that hit the mark, was it?
No, it's my bottom bottom on the test, which you're going to do in a few minutes. Hopefully, you're going to find out whether gifts is one of your top ones. And gifts is very important for some people. And gifts don't have to be big. They don't have to be anything particularly. They just need to be given with the right heart.
Yeah.
And so, I guess in a moment we're going to get you to actually go online and we're going to get you to do the 5 love languages test. And then you can talk with one another about, what things within those categories actually bless you and what don't. And so we're going to just get you to do that right now. And so we'll be seeing you back in the second session where we're going to talk about what things to invest and what things not to invest.